Welcome back to Cartoon Investigation. Steven Universe has always been presented as a heartwarming story about love, acceptance, and self-discovery. But what if everything we've been told is a lie? What if Steven was never meant to exist? What if his birth was not a miracle, but a grotesque parasitic event, a horrifying accident that turned him into something far more terrifying than anyone ever realized? Today, we uncover the disturbing truth behind the existence of Steven Universe. The theory that he is not a hybrid, but a parasite that consumed Rose Quartz from the inside out. Prepare yourself, because once you see the signs, you can never unsee them. Chapter 1. The Impossible Birth. Let's start with something that has never made sense in Steven Universe, his birth. Rose Quartz, a powerful, immortal gem, supposedly gave up her physical form to create Steven. But think about it, why would a gem, a being made of solid light with a core gemstone, be able to conceive and give birth like a human? No other gem has ever displayed the ability to reproduce biologically. Gems are not organic, so what really happened? The truth might be far more disturbing. What if Rose Quartz never gave up her physical form willingly? What if she was consumed piece by something growing inside of her? What if Steven wasn't her child, but a mutation, a parasite, that fed off her essence until there was nothing left? Think about parasitic creatures in nature, like certain wasps that lay their eggs inside living hosts, slowly eating them from the inside until they hatch. Rose could have been the host, and Steven the final product of the process, but unlike most parasites that leave a corpse behind, Steven replaced Rose entirely, wearing her gemstone like a trophy, pretending to be something he's not.
Thinking about you guys like my mom ×3, but we're really more like siblings.
Chapter 2. The Mind of a Monster. From the beginning, Steven has displayed abilities that defy logic. He doesn't just inherit his mother's powers, he seems to overwrite them. His healing abilities are far more advanced, his physical strength surpasses what Rose ever demonstrated, and most terrifyingly, his emotions seem to directly alter reality. This is especially disturbing when we look at instances where his powers become uncontrollable. When Steven is distressed, the world around him warps. He creates sentient life without meaning to, Watermelon Stevens. He traps people in nightmarish dreamscapes, Kiki's pizza delivery service. He even begins to mutate his own body when under extreme emotional stress, Steven's monster form and future. These are not normal powers. They are the traits of something still evolving, still learning how to exist in its host's body. Unlike Rose Quartz, whose powers were stable and controlled, Steven's abilities are raw, unpredictable, and often dangerous. He doesn't just use his mother's abilities, he twists them into something new, something unnatural. Could this be because he's not just a fusion of human and gem, but rather an entirely new, alien entity struggling to maintain its disguise? The most telling sign of his parasitic nature is his emotional instability. Steven experiences extreme mood swings, intense outbursts of anger, and moments of complete detachment. Parasites in nature often alter the behavior of their hosts to survive. If Steven truly consumed Rose, then perhaps some residual part of her mind still lingers, trying to regain control, causing his erratic emotional state. His body isn't just evolving, it's at war with itself. Chapter 3. The Gem That Doesn't Belong, Steven's gemstone, is another key piece of evidence. When he fuses with other gems, his form becomes unstable, Stevani's unsettling transformations. His very existence breaks the fundamental rules of how gems should work. Think about how fusion normally works in the Steven universe. It requires mutual cooperation between two separate consciousnesses. But Steven's fusions are different, sometimes erratic, sometimes overly powerful, and always psychologically distressing for those involved. Take Stevani, for example. Unlike other fusions, Stevani displays signs of intense emotional instability, as if something inside them is struggling to maintain control. Could it be that Steven's own parasitic nature interferes with the fusion process, creating an internal conflict that no other fusion experiences? And let's not forget the most horrifying reveal of all. When Steven separates from his gem in Steven Universe, future, what is left behind is not Rose Quartz, but a mindless, monstrous version of himself. If Steven were truly his mother's son, shouldn't her consciousness have remained within the gem? Shouldn't her presence have still been there? Instead, what emerges is something entirely foreign, a soulless primal entity, confirming that Steven was never a fusion of human and gem, but something else entirely. A creature that relied on Rose's gem to maintain its form but never truly contained her essence.
Know how awful it feels to keep. Oh, it's cool. It's whatever.
Chapter 4. the horrific truth. So what does this all mean? The theory suggests that Stephen was never a natural creation. Instead, he was a cosmic parasite, an anomaly that used Rose as a host and ultimately consumed her. The sweet boy we know and love may just be the outer shell of something far more sinister, something that doesn't fully understand what it is yet. But the scariest part, Stephen never questions it. He never wonders where his mother's consciousness went, because deep down
I
he
guess
knows.
he really wants
He knows that when
rainbow.
he was born,
And
Rose
cookies.
Quartz died screaming, consumed by something she never saw coming. This would explain why Stephen always feels like something is missing.
Is he gonna jump?
His life is haunted
Onion,
by the
don't you
absence
do
of
it.
Rose Quartz, and deep
Onion!
inside,
It's okay, I'll
he
catch
carries
you,
a
Onion!
lingering, nameless guilt. But it's not just survivor's guilt, it's predator's remorse. A subconscious understanding that he didn't just inherit his
that's fine
mother's
too.
powers, but that he stole them. That he is a walking, breathing contradiction, existing in a body that was never supposed to be his. And now as he grows older and stronger, one terrifying question remains. Is he still evolving?
Nope.
What will happen when the parasite inside him fully matures? Will Stephen lose control completely? Will he become something that even the crystal gems won't be able to stop? Or worse, has that transformation already begun?